Welcome back, all of you Regs and all of you Shinies, to our second ever Hot Toys review. Now, if you have been with us for a while, you know I've been talking about not only my obsession with Jango Fett, but the fact that I had pre-ordered this a little bit earlier in the year, probably around February-ish time, and my pre-order finally arrived. So now I get to show it off to you in all of its glory, and let me tell you, I am absolutely in love with this figure so much. I kind of took it out of the box, posed it one way, kind of put everything back in the box, and I was like, okay, now I want to take everything out of the box again and start playing around with it more and doing all sorts of different poses. So here is one that I kind of have for the moment. That's just him flying backwards in the scene where he's fighting Obi-Wan on Kamino. But I'm going to kind of get into what this includes so that you can kind of see for yourself all the different props and maybe things that you could do with the figure. And while I'm getting this box open really quick, I'm going to have Tom just probably flash a few images on the screen of what the different shots that I took looked like. And while he's doing that, I'm just securing this off so that if it's too much, he'll just cut it to then where it's actually the interesting part. Gonna keep this up for the display. There we go. So inside the box, what you get is that nice paper stand for Jango. All the different boxes have this just to protect their internal contents. And in the first section, if I can ever so gently get that out. There we go. This is all that it is going to include. Gonna move Jango to the side for now. But when you're looking at it, let me get that open. So inside includes the Attack of the Clones Tamir Morrison sculpt. Now this looks absolutely phenomenal to the likeness of Tamir Morrison in the movie. It's so incredibly lifelike. It looks like they cut a dude's head off and threw it in a box. It's insane to me. Now, another feature that they added that I was a little bit intrigued about, and that I saw some online debate that kind of had me rolling my eyes, was that there is a second dome top that comes with Jango. I have the other one on, but this is the smooth one, and I'll take this off because it's just a magnet. But this one has a dent, and so I was looking up online trying to figure out for the life of me, where the heck did that dent come from? And the most reasonable explanation I could find was that the dent was caused in his battle with Obi-Wan on Kamino. But a lot of people were saying that, oh, the dent was caused when he was fighting Obi-Wan, and then when Boba Fett repaints his helmet, that's how he gets it. But that is incorrect because the dent that Boba has in his helmet is from a completely different incident that is technically not canon because people would know from the Clone Wars deleted scenes it's from his duel with Cad Bane. But if you are an avid Clone Wars watcher, you would know that Jango Fett's helmet doesn't survive because Boba literally uses it as a bomb to try to kill Mace Windu. In the rest of this packaging, though, you're going to get both of his blasters. You have that hook attachment, that's really the best way I know how to describe it, for his gauntlet here on the side, which I will show off in just a second, that you can replace that whole section to be that instead. Then you have an action feature of him shooting the Kamino and Saber Dart. And then this is the tube that stores the creatures that were going to try to kill Padme. This was the remote control for said thing as well. I have no clue for the life of me what that is. I tried doing a little bit of research on some of these before this started. Some just don't make sense. You get alternate hands through some of the... These are the starting hands. They never fit any of the original pegs in here, so you just gotta throw them in and make them work. What I really, really like as well is that his tunic has metal wiring inside so that you can do different poses with this as well so that you can articulate it. From the photos that Tommy would have put up on the screen, you would have seen the one with the poncho already. That arguably has to be one of my favorite poses too for the moment. When I had one of my original Jango Fett figures, as I get out the second part of these accessories, but on one of my original Jango Fett figures, I had that poncho, And I always just thought it was like such a cool play feature that they added. I thought he looked really cool in it. It's in the box art right here as well for the figure. And then this is the second compartment that you're going to get with it. Comes with the jetpack from Camino and then Geonosis after this one is damaged. This is all part of the stand equipment I'll show off in a few. This is an attachment for the Kaminoan jetpack so that it's shooting the rocket. That's also in another one of the images that would have been displayed. And then these are the fire boosters for his jetpack. Those are all the little goodies and trinkets that this figure comes with. I'm actually going to take him off of the stand really quick. It has a nice little hook feature, and I'll bring it up to the camera so that you can see it. But it says Star Wars Jango Fett on it. Luckily, no misspelling like how they did for the 501st Battalion Trooper, where they misspelled battalion. But what's nice about Hot Toys, if you did not know, is that they are based on endoskeletons. So everything you see right here is in the essential body of the figure as well. There's no like open joints really or anything. So he moves very naturally like how he would. The only kind of complaint I would have, but it can't really be that much of a complaint, is that Jango's movement in his legs is extremely limited due to the amount of armor he has and his holsters for his twin pistols. But that is just solely because he already has that equipment on him. The armor lays on his flight suit kind of naturally. I had a different Jango Fett figure when I was a smaller child that Jacob ended up getting me for a birthday. But on that one as well, the armor pieces were really loose. So it kind of showed me as well. It translated to this too, just how like these do just sit on the flight suit. Like they can move around a little bit. I'm not going to mess around with them because I don't want to screw anything up. Sounds like my dog is a fan of this review as well. Holsters on the side. The leather on these looks absolutely amazing. It looks like you could move these pouches up and whatnot. It has the little holes as well for adjusting. I think that's such a nice little detail. The jetpack on the back uses a magnet so I can pull it right off and stick it back on with ease. There are these little straps right here and then hooks on the jetpack, if you can see that right there, that they're supposed to technically hook into and then attach on. But to be completely honest, there's no real reason to even hook them on. If the jetpack is just going to stay on, you just lay them flat so it looks like it's attaching. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. If I can stand Jango for a second here, make him face the camera for you lovely people. There we go. The rocket in this jetpack, like I mentioned before, pops out. And then that's where you can put that fire effect in here to make it look like he is shooting. Stick that back in. These also come out exactly like how the Black Series version of the deluxe Return of the Jedi Boba Fett looks. Almost fumbled that there and made myself look like a total clown. As you can see, arms are going to move very naturally. The gauntlets right here actually come completely off. If I take off one of the hands, you can slip the entire gauntlet off, and these wires are just tucked into his sleeve just to add the effect rather than connecting it and risking the chance of them breaking later, which is a good feature. In terms of the saber dart, like I promised I was going to show, the individual dart itself is going to be a pain for me later, but it is what it is. Comes out so you can examine it. I'll set it over here and pray God I don't lose that. And then this feature right here to make space for that blade pops out, and then because that cord system isn't attached, you pull that whole thing out, and then you reattach that blade here. So that is how that all works together. And then he also has a fire effect that he can shoot from this gauntlet. So to do that, this is also very much a little bit of a struggle because you don't want to ruin it. Right here where my thumb is hitting, you're going to take that piece out because it slips out, and then you scoot the fire effect into there, and then that's how that is going to stay. In terms of articulation for the arms as well, like I said, it is very limited. If I move him up here, that's about as high as he can go with that. So if you want to do something where he's shooting out of the gauntlets, you kind of have to straighten his arm and almost play with him at an angle to make it look like it's almost like up more, because at the same time you don't want to put too much friction on this piece right here and risk damaging it. And then in terms of the leg mobility, I'm going to kind of scoot the leg forward a bit. This is about the extent that you can get forward, and then this is about an extent you can get going backwards. This is me not really trying to push it to its limit either. I'm being very, very gentle with this, because you don't want to technically play around with these things too much, because they are meant to be more display pieces rather than like an action figure a kid would play with and do all sorts of I'm not going to take it go you get the point. Antenna here also does come down for the rangefinder to do that effect as well. And then head's going to literally pop right off so that you can put the Tamir Morrison head on instead. But overall, I think this is an absolutely outstanding figure. As a personal fan of Jango Fett ever since I was a kid, I'm saying that this is going to be a must pick up if you are an Attack of the Clones fan or just a Mandalorian fan in general. I was really blown away by the quality of this figure and overall just how well it works. I just want to play with it a whole lot more, which is why I just keep kind of fidgeting with it as well, just because it's so tempting and it's so well done. This would be such a cool concept to continue, almost like how Hasbro did the hyperreal figures for Empire Strikes Back Vader and Bespin Luke that ended up going on sale on Ollie's. But obviously that was scrapped because it was a bit pricey. And so this is really something that we will definitely not really see too much, I would feel like, in ever a Black Series line or anything else like that. Just because if you ever want detail, this is where you need to go. When people want to talk about detail on a Black Series figure, you have to think about the price point of everything. This was almost $300, where I could get the Gaming Greats Jango Fett for probably $25, $30-ish, you know? So really do the comparison with all that. But in the end, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm very happy to scoop this up. Tommy and I both have a hot toy of our own coming on the way in the future. So towards the end of this year, hopefully we'll get another hot toy review out. But if you aren't on already, we would like to just ask you to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please join our Discord. It's where we're having so much fun talking to a bunch of Star Wars people. If you want to see the rest of the photos I have for this as well, or me and other people messing around with our hot toys, join the Discord on there. We love to play Battlefront as well, so if you need someone to play Battlefront with, people are usually available almost every single night to play. Make sure you are checking us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere else that podcasts are available. But other than that, we will see you in our next weekly episode. Have a good rest of your day, night, or afternoon, whatever time it may be. Bye-bye.